Welcome to In the Cabin. We're up here, got the cream puff. She did okay. Pulling the snowmobile. Looks like one of the straps came loose. It was a hell of a ride up the hill. You know, even with just this little bit of snow, it was rough stuff. I'm gonna go in and get a fire started first thing, and then get this thing unloaded and see about backing it in there. You know, I might be able to just put it right there in front of that. I don't know, we'll see. We'll see. We'll see how it works out. But anyways, we're here, and we're gonna drink some beer. Maybe have a whiskey, fire up a cigar. Well, I've already been firing up a cigar, so. It sure is funny looking, foggy looking inside. Hopefully it ain't leaking. The deck is still standing, that's a good thing. Okay, alrighty. So, welcome to In the Cabin, y'all. We're back in the saddle. Well, I'm sitting here and I'm watching the mountain news. The mountain news says today it's gonna be warm inside the cabin. We just got up, had my breakfast, percolating some coffee right on the stove like I like to do. And it's a bit 75 degree in here. I moved some wood this morning from the shed. It's still dark outside. You can see it's still dark. Last night was really cool. It was a full moon. And, it's nothing better than a full moon and fresh snow. Well, the snow isn't fresh. It's a couple days old and been rained on. Still a little bit warm outside. So today I'm gonna try to move more of that wood and then maybe get this plywood down. Working here. These two boards here were put up temporary just to hold that while I got all this sorted. And I think I pretty much got it sorted. I mean, I wouldn't trust anybody sleeping up there. But it's gonna be a good little storage for light stuff, junk, tchotchkes. My tchotchkes, that's where I'll keep all my tchotchkes. So that's what we got going today. And man, I wish the snow was a little bit deeper. If the snow is deeper, I'd take y'all for a ride on my snowmobile. But I think I'm not gonna ride it. I'm just gonna back it into the woodshed and leave it till it actually snows. Okay, y'all. We got the sled in the shed. I moved all the firewood onto the deck. I've slipped this bad boy in there. It's a lowrider. So I got the sled in the shed, and went ahead and stacked some firewood on the deck. I kind of like the way that looks. Gives it a nice little kind of down-homey cabin-y look. I got some other stuff that you guys might be interested in that's pretty cool. You know, I like my tchotchkes. So what I've got is I've got these guys here. These are some vintage snowshoes that I bought at an auction. And those I might hang two here. And I'm thinking about, I don't know, I might hang two in the other bedroom, or they may go on the ceiling here. You know, I'm a tchotchke guy. I like clutter. I don't know why. It's kind of, maybe it's the way my brain works. Yep. Yeah, so we got that. I also big upgrade. When I got this thing, it had a short hose and I had to keep the propane here, which took up my space for cooking and whatnot. So I went ahead and I got a different hose, and now I got my propane tucked up underneath. And wouldn't you know it, I go to test it. The ball ran for 2 seconds and then turned off, and I thought, oh shit, the hose, something's wrong with the regulator on the hose, it's got to go back. Ended up being Tank was empty. Go figure. Okay, so now I'm gonna run to Home Depot, grab some gear, and see if I can get in here and get a little work done. This place is it needs some forward momentum to get ready for the floor. I want to get that floor in there before I got a book club meeting. In the book club, I finally got this place about where they can come here. So before they come, I'll have to put the bed back in there. All my materials will be in here. Hopefully I'll have one more weekend to come up here and do the floor. My plan is just to get the base completed, because you know it's raised, and I got this piece of carpet over the part where the air is leaking in, just to keep it a little bit warmer in here. Whoop. You can see that right there. That doesn't go all the way down, it just goes down to the framing of the cabin, because I guess this was whatever this was put in when they built the cabin. So, and then we've got to trim that out. I'm going to trim that with a nice 2x6 or a 2x, whatever will fit there. I got a rough cut one. I'll trim it and make it look kind of, vintage. That's just going to be the way it is. I might get some more paneling and, cap underneath. Okay. Okay, so here we go. I've cut the pieces. Just used not even two sheets of plywood. And then I'm thinking about taking and just plywooding this. And the outside. And then, cleaning. I got to take all this stuff down and do shelves. But that's going to wait. So I'm going to take all my scrap, lean it again, or next time I come up, I'm going to go ahead and floor this, or I might start flooring it tomorrow. Move all this crap out to the living room and then start putting the vinyl plank flooring down, which I've already got. I got the material out there. Yeah, and it seems like I went to do my propane, and I got this fancy dancy hose to do the propane to fill these little bottles. But it seems I need one of those Schrader valve things to get that to work. That way we'll have a nice toasty bathroom. Go out there and put that out there right by the seat, so when you go to the bathroom in the morning, you're not sitting on a 0 degrees toilet seat. That kind of sucks. Hey pilgrims, thought I'd bring you guys something I find quite interesting tonight. I'm going to do a steak, and with my steak I want some mushrooms. But I just don't want regular, good old-fashioned mushrooms. I want something interesting. So I got mushrooms sauteed, and fuck that, with some Tony Sacheret's. And, I don't know if anybody else remembers this, or maybe I'm crazy. Well, maybe about it I am crazy, but I distinctively remember it being spelled with an E-T-T, Sacheret, on the end. As a matter of fact, I even remember calling it Tony Cratchits when I first saw it, because it was E-T-T-E, French. So this is like a French mushroom kind of thing. I'm like Chef Boyardee over here with my Blackstone Adventure Grilling. Sunday only. So yeah, I got that, and then we're gonna do a little steak. Hereford. I ate a whole thing of one of my favorites. Well, that was not a whole thing. There was about 4 left in there. That was my lunch. Pickled eggs and micheladas, and now I'm gonna have whiskey and a T-bone. Is that T-bone? Some kind of steak. Ribeye. Steak. Some kind of steak. Here in the cabin, I'd like to bring you guys the good stuff. What I got. My good buddy Mike the other day bought me some whiskey glasses. You can set your cigar in. Isn't that fancy? So you can sit here have a sip of some of that whiskey and hit on a cigar. I mean, what could go wrong? You gotta watch though, because if you're wearing your cowboy hat, that ash sure does get close to the top of that cowboy hat. Got up this morning, got a little bit of work done. Just crawling around on your hands and knees is for the birds or the something. It ain't for me, I'll tell you that. But it's looking good. Gonna get this all set up and at least cleaned up for not for permanent, but for the now. Get this all dialed in. See what we got going. Okay, y'all, that looks like that's about it for this series of In the Cabin. I got a little bit of work done. I got to ride my snowmobile. I rode it up and around and back. You know, that's a deep powder sled because it's got them big lugs on it. And you got to be careful on riding it in low snow. You'll rip them lugs off. But my neighbors came by, and they came by on their sleds last night because they got like deep powder sleds, and then they got regular cruiser sleds. They came by in their cruisers last night. We're all excited that I got a sled because that means I got people to go sledding with. Yeah, there's a little bit of snow, but it ain't deep yet. You can see, you know, not last winter, the winter before, my shooting target, my competition tree over here, was up to the top of that thing. So I'm hoping we get that much snow this winter. Yeah, he's all the way up to the top of that thing right there. So if we get that much snow this winter, man, it's gonna be off the hook. So it's nothing better than winter. Winter's nice, but it's been pretty warm, you know. It is snowing a little bit right now. You know, it kind of snows a little bit off and on. Hopefully it keeps doing that for another 2-3 weeks. Every day till I get about 4 or 5 feet of snow and can blast around like a maniac on my snowmobile. The old cream puff does a pretty good cold start. I think it's below freezing because I got icicles. You know, the cabin's not really well insulated, so it melts the snow off the roof. And then as it comes down, it freezes and makes icicles. Pretty exciting. Didn't make it down to the Salt Lick this trip. Hopefully we get some fresh snow. Yeah. So that's about it. That's all we got. Now we could talk all night about